if you want to really screw yourself with your female relationships, that's a great place to start. Okay, once again, I have notes for today's video. Actually, a little bit interesting. Today's video, the original video for today actually will air next week. How do I avoid using the word boring describing some of my content? But some of my stuff's a little more salacious, whatever, you know. And then some stuff is just more culturally helpful and updates on my progress and things you can glean from that and use for yourself and such. I came up with this idea. Sometimes it helps to work up like a title, like what would I title a video? What would I have an idea of like things hit me in real life. That's where it all comes from. And then it's like, I think, well, okay, how would I phrase that? And then trying to like boil that down into a title gives me a nugget of what it's about. And the one I came up with, slightly humorous, which my brain does from time to time, was how to sign your own death warrant in Thailand, which is what, I mean, according to me, and then I've asked, all my friends and I, we've all talked about this dozens of times over the last few years. It's the overwhelming majority of Westerners that come here. We sign our own death warrant more or less one way or another. That's true. So I'll discuss how to do that, and then you can just do the you could maybe consider doing the opposite. That would be a good generally, if you see a Westerner here and you observe what he's doing, just do the opposite, and like 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that'll be the correct move. And I'm just joking, but every single one of my friends here would agree with that statement. Like, that's literally true. I'm not laughing at anybody. I'm laughing at life and how crazy things are. And it definitely gets crazy when you put us all over here fish out of water, and then most of us don't speak the language, and almost none of us get the culture. And it gets entertaining, let me tell you. So, okay, first point I have, I'll maybe number them or something. I don't have them numbered here. The first one is by not allowing others to save face when they're with you. Oh, gee, Rob, the Thais don't believe in saving face. That's nothing. I've had people say that. Man, that's super not true. Don't buy into that. Every friend that I have here that has some understanding of the culture fully understands how saving face is mega important here. It's just as important as money. In the U.S., it's money. It's money. Here it's money and saving face, which is ironic because Westerners come here and go, oh, the Thais, they're all about money. And that's like less true for them than it is for us. It's the whole, Jesus lesson about taking the log out of your own eye before taking the splinter out of your... I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. It's very hard to talk and vlog. So the first is by your appearance. If this is a place of appearances, so when I see a guy dressed very poorly and really dressed inappropriately for the venue, so say we're at an expensive shopping venue, which in Thailand would be, I think, any mall. All the malls here in Korat, for sure, that would apply. I strongly suspect that's all the malls everywhere in Thailand, because to your average Thai person, a trip to the mall is a big deal. Many, many Thais, possibly the majority, have never been to a mall. So to go there, they're wearing reasonable clothes. The women are looking good. The guys have got a proper shirt on, and now, side point, if I occasionally see a Thai man in shorts where maybe you wouldn't be ideal to wear shorts, or wearing open toe like sandals or something where maybe that's not the ideal thing, let me check. Oh, that's funny. There isn't a negative stereotype in Thailand about Thai people. Isn't that odd? But we've made one for ourselves. We did it. We earned it. And so what I do is, even if it's a hot day and all that, and unless I'm going to be on the beach or in the water, I almost never wear an open toe shoe, sandal of any kind, because it's such a stereotype. It's just like there was a 60-minute special on it for Black Americans, how they were really dead sick and tired of the stereotype that they were lazy, and so when they went to college, they overwhelmingly preferred to sit in the front row and overtly very overtly be taking notes and paying very close attention to everything because they were just sick of the stereotype. I'm the same way here with the stereotype about us. I'm sick of it. I want nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with me. And I make sure to give maybe a negative mindset local person here. I refuse to give them any additional ammo to throw at me and go, oh yeah, Rob, look at he's just one of those guys, you know. I just don't need it. On one hand, I don't care what other people think. On the other hand, I'm not looking to give people ammo to say what a dirtbag I am. I mean, if who enjoys that? I don't know one person that enjoys that. Anyways, enough about that. And I got to look at my notes from time to time, so apologize in advance. So by your appearance, the other way that because if you look bad and they're standing next to you or they're with you or you've come up to them to talk to them and you, pardon me, but you look like shit. They're terrified socially of what's this going to look like to everybody. Is he a friend with, I'm not going to, you could look like a very unseemly individual at that point. And then they don't really want to be associated. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, and then by what you're doing. So I decided not to show it, but I filmed bonus footage, not showing anybody because I don't do that. I was at a big open air market, Save One Market, which is the largest continuous market here in Thailand. It's here in Korat. It's beautiful, beautiful, cool place. It's so big they have a 7-Eleven in it. I mean, that's crazy. Which that shocked me. And, everybody you see like almost no alcohol there because it's basically a family environment. They have people selling beer, and you might see a Thai man with one beer. And on the whole table, there's one guy drinking one beer. And that's all, I checked. That's literally all I saw. Until I came to the two what looked like British people, a couple tables behind me, had a pile of beer covering their table for two people. Just sitting there kind of looking drunk, just staring off into the distance. And obviously you know how they were dressed. You don't have to ask. Yeah, it was muscle shirts and no muscle, big old gut. And just, talk about just lean into that stereotype, buddy, and it's just terrible. It's just, that makes a terrible impression. My friends and I see this as we are ambassadors for Westerners that are reasonable people, to show that there are some of us at least that are reasonable. All of my friends run around dressed like this every day. We're in our 60s. We're retired gentlemen. You should be dressing like a retired gentleman, not like a out of shape past his prime football player that obviously never played football. Anyways, I'm on my high horse today. But it's frustrating. You can tell, you can hear it in my voice. It's frustrating. So by your activity. So obviously drinking a ton of beer. If you're in a venue with polite people, if I am in a venue with polite people in a polite venue, this is my vitamin water, I take my beer and I'll set it on the floor next to me and I refill my glass. I've seen other Thai people do this from time to time, mostly government officials, because they have a very high standard of expected of their behavior. And I've been with government officials when they've been called out by a local. We've all been in a restaurant having a good time, and they got called out because it didn't look decorous. You can look up that word if you don't know it. And then lack of observance of the culture. So if you're going to run around and make big hand gestures and get loud and get pushy and all that kind of stuff, they hate that. They don't do that. And that's the one big thing that's missing. And that's how you see these videos where, and I just saw two this week where lady boys, and one was a Thai MMA guy, put down obnoxious Western tourists. And you a lot of times you get a guy that's a large guy, he's 250 pounds, but he's not really a fighter. He's just a big fat old guy, and he's push around the locals, and it goes to their brain that, hey, I can push these people around, they'll take it. The problem is they'll only take it to a certain point, and then once they calculate that they're losing more face by tolerating you're pushing them around than it would be to fight, because fighting is to lose face, then it's done. And if it's young angry men, that trigger is very short, by the way, just so you know. That's where this all comes from. So lack of observance of the culture. So I've got all my friends observe really well. I was at a restaurant or store. We were buying some things. At a store buying some things. And this guy's really polite. One of my friends, he's really polite, and we pay attention. We try and do a reasonable job. Not tiptoeing on eggshells. Mostly we just live our lives peacefully. As the Thais let us live our lives, we let them live their lives. But when you're interacting, we try to be polite. And when he paid for stuff, he kind of set the money down on the counter, but kind of like threw it down, sort of. And I went, dude, man, might want to think about that. That's And I said, when next time we buy something, watch what I do with the money. And he was I paid for stuff in front of him a dozen times. He just never noticed. But I arranged my bills. I put it together. You can use two hands. I just use one, and I make a little bow, and I give it to him. And he was like, whoa, man, I never noticed that before. How did I not see that? It's a little thing, but it helps distinguish you from the, I'll just say dirtbags. The guys that just really pay no attention. I mean, they're drunk all day through the day. This is going to sound crazy, but wait till you get here. You'll see this is all true. This is a strange place. It's fun, though. I love it. I love the eccentricity here. I like to me, the eccentricity of the Thai people, how they all sort of do their own thing. I just love it, as you can tell. Another big one is by not being like a male under the Thai culture. And I'm not trying to insult anybody or say, hey, man, you're not manly or something. But the Thai way of being a man and a male in public and in private, too, but that's a whole other thing for you to sort out for yourself. But I'll just keep to the public side. Most Westerners that I see engage in public like a female. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's literally like mathematically true. I don't know I can't tell you that 5 isn't 5. I'm not going to tell you 5 is 4. 5 is 5. And they're doing the cultural observance as though they were a female. If you want to really screw yourself with your female relationships, that's a great place to start. Gosh, I sound flippant or arrogant today. I don't mean to do that. Like I'm just in a really good mood, so forgive me for laughing a little. I'm just in a good mood. But I've got a great day today. I've got arm day, and then I got a reading class with Usani. I love reading classes are my favorite because we get more sentence structure, which is where I really need more help. My vocabulary is pretty good at this point. Generally, I'll just say what not to do. The best thing to not do is have your wife, when you go somewhere, your wife be the leader. That means she's walking in front of you everywhere, walking quickly. You follow along slowly behind, head down, really weak body posture, slumped over, and then you're carrying her bags and stuff for her like you're her slave. I see that a lot. If I go to any mall, I will guaranteed see that 3, 4, 5 times.
Now, you absolutely cannot fix this by telling your wife to walk behind you and demand she carry your bags, comma. You have to earn it, period. She has to volunteer this, period. Cause and effect. This is the effect, not the cause, period. The cause is you. You have to fix you.
I've never seen a Thai man do that ever once. The overwhelming majority, actually, of Westerners I see with a woman, that's how I see them engaging. So when you set the date, you should be nice, be polite, be a gentleman, be gracious, but you should set the date. You should set the time and the location. You want to kind of grab the bull by the horns a little bit. The Thai women like kind of a manly man. You want to be someone worthy of them kind of hopping on board and following along with. I've got stiff body posture because I've got a broken back, but also I would have to admit, and I don't intend this, and I'll just admit it, and I don't really like this necessarily about myself, but I have rather aggressive body posture and the way I walk. Fawn likes to make fun of me about it, but it's just I actually had her coach me a little bit on to just try to walk a little less aggressively so I don't look like I'm on my way to punch somebody square in the nose, because that doesn't really help. But I have very strong, like if a criminal is profiling people in a parking lot walking by who's to be a good victim, I might be one of the last people picked, other than if they could tell how old I was. And I'm not saying you got to walk around like you're a soldier or something, but walking around slump-shouldered and head down and looking down and all that, all those things mean something here. This is like, if you've ever seen a movie on like Japan, like there was a really good movie called, was it Wolverine or The Wolverine with Hugh Jackman? It was one of his last, not the last, but maybe it was like his second or third to last movie playing the Wolverine character. And he was in Japan. It's one that takes place in Japan. And there's a scene at dinner or lunch or something with this lady. And she's like, well, this is Japan. Everything has meaning. And it was like how he put left his chopsticks in his dish, symbolized death. She goes, you can't do that. And it's like that here. Like almost everything has some kind of meaning. And so if we come here and we just don't pay any attention and never think about any of this and then just do what I just said, man, that's engaging very poorly. You're just taking off points of your social points, your social value. You could take it and throw it away. And hey, and if you're going to just date like a pay for play and just literally pay someone a salary to just for your time, I mean, then it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I wouldn't want to walk around like that no matter what, though. I really, for me, maybe I've got an ego problem or something, but I wouldn't want to walk around or everyone looked down on me and thought, geez, who's that, person. I wouldn't. So I wouldn't recommend it. So I guess, not making fun. It's just definitely, again, under the ideas of how to sign your own death warrant, that'd be like number one. And then no language whatsoever. I realize it's hard, but again, there's some black-hearted Thai women that I think that have started this rumor because I've talked to a few and they love this, but it's absolutely not true. When I first was looking at learning Thai, I knew said black-hearted Thai woman, and she said, well, it's a waste of time, Rob, because many foreigners, they study for years and then they try and speak and then nobody can understand them anyways. It's just a waste of time. And then later on I found Usani and she's like, Rob, that's just not true. And I can tell you it's not true. I have no tonal inherent language ability whatsoever. My brain is the math and science brain, that half, the language half. I was terrible at English. I couldn't tell you what a prepositional phrase is or how to conjugate a verb or what. I speak English natively, but how it works I couldn't tell you. And that's how I've learned Thai. I don't know what a prepositional phrase in Thai is either, okay? But it eventually becomes sort of inherent and native to me to how they make, like this you say this way, that you say that way, and it just sort of becomes natural after a while. And I'm slow. I've been at this almost 6 years. I should be fluent by now, and I'm really not fully fluent. So my point is, it's not that hard. It's hard, but it's not as hard as they're saying. And to speak basic Thai, that is all way easier. The further you go, the harder it gets. I'm at the end where it's like really like, holy crap. Some of the sentences and the way the words have to be ordered, because in Thai, the order of the words is absolutely critical to the sentence meaning. Where in English, you can say the words backwards, you sound kind of silly, but everybody knows what you mean. In Thai, they won't, because it means something different then. You've turned the sentence into a question about the word you weren't intending. Like that's literally true. Anyway, but to say like sawadee krap, greeting, you could mangle the tones in that. Everybody will know you're greeting them, and you make a little bow. And if they're older than you, you give a little Y. But you don't really have to give a Y. You just make a little bow. A humble gesture is all it's expected of you. No one's expecting you to really do a Y gesture properly. When you're older, by the way, it's down here. It's not way up here to every child you see. There's a Westerner that lives not far from here, and his wife must hate him. Oh, she does actually. I've heard about that. I think everybody hates. He's not a liked person, and he does this to all the children, everybody wherever he goes. He's just an idiot. I told Fawn I just don't want to even be any association with him at all, and there was reasons why we would be over where he is, and I said we're not doing it. She goes, yeah, I get you, I agree. Anyways, that's drunk, angry, violent people. Good to avoid. Anyway, so we were talking about language, and like Hongnam Utinai, where's the bathroom? That I gave some tonality there. That's probably 80-90% correct, but you could mangle that, and they'll know you're looking for like everybody asks for the bathroom at some point in their life. Like they'll get that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, for a person you ask, you say their name and you say Unai. You could mangle that tone, and if you say they know that name, and then you say that, they'll know you're looking for them. And you kind of point a little bit, and you kind of looking, like, you do that, kind of act it out a little, and they'll get that. If you make no effort to even, like, the basic things, they take it as a little bit of an insult, because, like, and if you're going to live somewhere, I think you want to learn something, and you got the time, you're retired, right? If you're working, I get it, that's difficult, but if you've got the time. Here's the worst one, biggest one, most common. Well, yeah, definitely most. Dating way beyond your pay grade. This would be the best way to sign your own death warrant in Thailand, and that would be dating way above your pay grade. So obviously, if you're 65, you look terrible. You made no effort in your appearance. Didn't cut your hair. Didn't even consider losing 10 pounds of the 50 or 80 or 100 you're overweight. And you're going to wear a muscle shirt and cargo shorts and obvious tourist or fly fishing attire with your sandals. You're going to wear that to funerals, to her work, to visit her parents at her parents' house, which would be, let me check, a place of respect. If you're going to do all, and going to the temple, and this is how, and then obviously under the culture, then you're entitled to a very attractive 38-year-old woman with a gorgeous bikini figure. Obviously, that would make total sense. That's what you'd be dating back home, right? So no trouble there, no trouble there at all. And I see that a lot. And I'll tell you, and I've said this a couple of times in other videos, when I'm out with a Thai friend, and sometimes I just can't resist asking, I'll point over and I go, is there like, Sianam, eh? Losing face, yes. And they'll look and they'll go. They don't like to talk about losing face too much, but with a close friend, I'll ask it like kind of softly, like I just whispered it. I'll say it real quiet like that. And they'll look and they'll go, Chai, yes. They're losing face. I mean, there's no way under this culture, I am telling you, it is not possible that an attractive woman can be with an unattractive guy that's obviously as old or much older than her own father and out on a date where it's implied that they're sleeping together. Like, there's no way they can do that and save face. So the only option they have is to talk about what a dumbass you are and how much money you're giving her every month and how she's tricking you into paying for her real husband's motorcycle and whatever. And I'm being a little mean today, maybe. Maybe I'm in a mood. But don't vlog when you're in a mood. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I see that. I see every day these crazy extreme couples, and that's just not really a good. It's the same for a celebrity in the U.S. I mean, if you've got a guy that's 80, 85 years old, but he's worth $100 million and he's famous, and they'll be dating a 27-year-old Playboy bunny. I mean, do you really think that woman is going to care for him? Now, that guy's got the money to have private nurses that he's also privately probably sleeping with anyways, but he can hire the care anyway, so maybe he doesn't care. But those Hollywood people aren't exactly what I would call like a shining beacon of an example of good humanity. Like I wouldn't say copying what they do is a good idea necessarily, and that'd be maybe an example of doing the opposite would be a good idea. So, boy, those celebrities, how they have fallen in the last 10 years, huh? That's something. That's probably was way overdue, I suppose. But I would just say it's a bad idea. If you're older, you're going to at some point want people around you that care about you, because we're all going to get slower in our thinking. We're going to have no physical ability. Like, I can still kind of enforce my world around me in a physical way, or the obvious, the people knowing that they can't push me around by my size and all that stuff. But that's going to go away. That's going away. That's not, nobody gets to take that to the grave, other than maybe Hulk Hogan did. But I'm not him, so that's not my option. It's not likely your option either. I've got I used to have it, and I don't know, I haven't seen him in a long time, but I used to know a guy here that was a former football player, big tough guy, and but when I knew him, he was in his mid-60s, and he had, I mean, terrible to say, but he had no physicality left. He was a very old 65, unfortunately. Nice guy, I liked him, but he was very old 65. I mean, if he told you he was 75, you wouldn't call him a liar, or even 78 or something. I mean, he really, he had a very hard time in life, unfortunately, physically. Anyhow, so you want people around you as you're older. They're going to care about you, man. I mean, these guys that just, there's a guy I know, we're not friends, but I mean, he's in his 70s and he just dates the bar girl of the week. But he does complain about it because I don't think he understands, because he keeps complaining that, but they don't really love me, Rob. But he only will date women in their like 20s and stuff. And, I've never opened my mouth, never offered him one piece of advice, because he is in his 70s. And I mean, what business is it of mine? And I'm confident he wouldn't change anyhow. So another guy I know is actually more his friend than mine. He doesn't say anything either. So, but that guy's setting himself up for a fall. His health is starting to fail, because he's been, there's a group we're a part of, and he'll attend some events, and then he's missed the last several because of health. And again, I know the guy, but he's not a pal. I mean, I don't go and see him in the hospital or anything because I barely know him. So, but whatever. I'm just saying, not maybe the best choices. Where I've got one that really cares about me. And her boys have already learned to really care about me. Now, we're different people, and I'm not a dad 100%, and there's all that. But I feel very comfortable that I'll get the care around me that I need when I'm older, because all the other people around here are getting the care around here that they need as they're older. So that's the track I'll be on, and then all that good stuff. But then I have a backup plan back home. I've got my boy back home. But I shouldn't need my backup plan. But you should have one. You should have one. Anyway, so there's a fun little video. Hope I wasn't too animated today, too crazy. Not laughing at anybody, not making fun of anybody. Always makes me sad. I have a slight excess of empathy. Always makes me sad when I see somebody doing poorly. But I also realize that a man, particularly a man in his 50s or 60s or 70s, he's an adult. He has made and will make his own choices. I never step in. I never say a thing. I've had people at a pub somewhere get all mouthy and loud with me about this or that opinion, and I've never given them an argument back. They can argue at me, but I've never given them an argument back. And what's the point? What, do I get a gold star somewhere? Do I get a Twinkie? What do I get? I get nothing. It's a waste of time. Please don't do that. Anyways, So. Next week we'll probably do the video. I got one on. I got the stuff all worked up for special laws that are unusual, but of merit, of real strength and real impact on your life here as a retired foreigner. I think I'll do that next week. I just wanted something a little lighter and more fun for this week for you guys, and it was kind of fun to talk about this. And again, hope I did it respectfully. Take care. Chilling on a Sunday afternoon, 1:30. Fawn's cleaning, and her boys are helping her. I've always instructed them to help. Hey Rob, how come you're not helping? Man, I'm wiped out. Yesterday, we drove to her friend's house, and she is like an expert, like a really advanced expert in like really fine hair and doing eyebrows and stuff like that. And she gave Fawn kind of a mini makeover sort of thing, cut her haircut and everything, and it was 1,000 baht, which is cheap for that. Even here, it's $30 US. I mean, that's cheap anywhere, I think. Then hour drive there, hour drive back, 3 hours sitting and waiting. I want to be supportive, and she really wanted me to see her and all that. Sometimes you got to sit at the beauty salon and go ooh and ah. And not that I don't mean it, but that I think we'd all rather be riding our Harley Davidsons, right? But you got to do this stuff sometime, and that's fine. I'm happy to do it. But that wiped me out. And then we got home, and then I had to do a big heart-to-heart talk with one of her nephews who's made some poor life choices recently. Young man, nice kid, like him. Told him I loved him. We all love him, and we support him. And here's some things you need to be thinking about. And he seemed to take that very seriously. That's a ton of Thai for me. That was at the limit of my language, and I had fun translate a couple words. A couple were dang it, and I knew the words, but their tonality, a lot of times they skip their R pronunciations completely. I'll just turn on, you can see the house is being cleaned. And gee whiz, people they could be a little more fair about this. Anyhow, so we're doing that, and then it's Sunday, and I'm wiped. She made me a huge American Chinese food, deep fried chicken, healthy, and big pile of rice, big pile. I ate it all. It was delicious. I rarely eat a big meal anymore, but that stuff, I love it, and I will eat a big meal of that. So we did that, and I'm just chilling, watching some woodworking stuff on YouTube. And then obviously it's Sunday. I'm going to watch Kolchak the Night Stalker. Obviously, it goes without saying. And that's about that. But it's a beautiful, quiet Sunday afternoon, and I'm just going to chill at home and then think about tomorrow being shoulder day. Going to hit a new program tomorrow with that. So that's always fun for me. Won't be riding the Harley Davidson. Dang it, the O2 sensor is out. It was in and out. Now it's out and waiting on a new part. So I just got it back, rode it twice, and then they said don't ride it. The O2 sensor is bad with the engine code. So, but probably a week and I'll get that. But it's a heat wave right now, and it's not a good time to be riding anyway. So some of the Thai women should really get better at determining the age of foreign men. It's cute when like the 20-somethings flirt with you and stuff, but it's like, honey, my kids are older than you. Still doesn't hurt my feelings. Better than being told I'm a low-down, worthless piece of crap. No, never. That's an old marriage joke. We won't go there.
This is a new highway that connects our village to directly almost to Pak Thong Chai, which is past the city of Karat. It's extremely convenient. And here is a picture of Ken enjoying a piece of my birthday cake. What a cute kid. And here is Fawn after she cleaned a bunch of my shoes. The service you get here is amazing. Let me tell you, here's the people that cook a pretty good hamburger over at Save One Market. And here's a really cute picture of Fawn from us on a date out at a very nice restaurant. And here's just a cute picture of Fawn, which a friend gave me that shirt, which was nice. And then here's a picture of her in her official uniform.
It's just that. The fuck, who cares? So, it's always something. This is Rob. Video's over. I'm closing my gate. But if you've been liking or subscribing, or and praise God if you've been a member of the channel, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that watches. You have a great day.